All right, guys, we are live with another one. Okay, we are live with another one. All right, this was hard, guys. This was very tough, but I did want to make a video and put it out there. You know what I mean? I did want to make a video and put it out there just because I got to continuously make my fight predictions. All right, right now I am 22-19. I believe that was the last time I counted up everything. 22-19, not bad, guys. But we got to continue this momentum. We need to build some more wins, on the W column. You already know. But this was a toughie, man. This was a toughie. This was a toughie. I was this close to not even making any fight predictions, guys. I was this close to not even making any fight predictions for this card because this card is tragic. This card is trash, straight up. And I had to go, do my due diligence. I went and I watched some videos on a lot of these fighters. I did my due diligence. I really wanted to, get down to the nitty and gritty, right? And yeah, guys, let's start this. Let's start this. All right, from the early prelims. All right, from the early prelims, I'm just gonna go with who am I gonna pick, right? Who am I gonna pick? I can't even pronunciate that. I can't even pronunciate his name. Hold on a second, guys. I cannot even pronunciate this guy's name. So let me copy and paste this. Oh my gosh. Hold on a second, guys. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Hold on a second, guys. I have to I actually have to go over here. Hold on. I want to get his name right at least. I don't want to butcher his name here. I don't want to butcher his name. This is my UFC predictions right now. I'm just want to pronunciate this guy's name right and correctly. Hold on a second, guys. How you doing, man? How you doing? Bless everybody. Bless. Hopefully you're having a good one, guys. Yeah, man, I can't even. I'm not even gonna know how to pronunciate his name. Forget that. But anyways, let's go. Who am I gonna pick, guys? All right. Bless, bro. Bless you too, man. Bless you too. Humbly lie, everybody. Humbly lie. Bless you. Hopefully you're having a good one. Great start to your week. It is Monday, guys. But look, guys, this is my UFC fight predictions for UFC 312. This card is trash, okay? I had to go back and watch some videos on a lot of these fighters, okay? This card was trash, all right? Man, I'm sweating bullets over here. Hold on a second, guys. Ugh. But this card was trash. I had to do my due diligence. And you already know, guys. Let's start with my pick, okay? Early prelims. Right now I'm just gonna name off, who am I gonna pick real fast because I don't know the other. I cannot pronunciate the other guy's name. But I'm going for it's a South Korean fighter versus a Mongolian fighter. I'm gonna pick the South Korean fighter to win this one. Okay, I'm gonna pick Park. I think Park is gonna win this one. I just think, this is another toss-up. It's a flyweight fight. This is gonna be another toss-up, but I'm gonna pick Park to win this one. I don't know how he's gonna win, but I believe he's gonna take this one, guys. All right. Bro, 312 feels like a boxing pay-per-view. It definitely does. It definitely does. I think the UFC is learning from boxing. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is tragic. This card is tragic, but I'm doing my due diligence, guys. Again, I'm going with Park to win that fight. All right. And then we got South Killed versus Jubilee. Indian fighter. We got an Indian fighter versus an Australian fighter. Okay, I cannot even pronunciate both of those guys. If I had to pick someone right off the top right now, I'm gonna pick I got my notes in front of me. I'm gonna pick Sal Kill to take this one. And the reason why I picked the Australian fighter Sal Kill to win, against Anshul, the Indian fighter, is because Anshul, he's had a long layoff. The guy has a really really long layoff. I think it's been over a year that he hasn't fought, and I think that's gonna be to a detriment. Don't get me wrong, he's good, but I'm gonna pick Sal Kill to win this fight, guys. All right, moving on. We got an Australian fighter versus a France fighter, guys. An Australian fighter versus a France fighter. All right, and guys. Who am I going to pick? Am I going to pick Jonathan, the Australian, or am I going to pick Kevin from France? This is another one, man. This is another one where it's like, it's another toss-up. It's going to be a tough fight. But you know what, guys? I'm going to pick Kevin to win this fight, guys. I'm going to pick Kevin to win this fight. I just think he's going to go in there, and he's going to go in there prepared. And he might put him away, but we'll see. We'll see about that, all right? Jonathan. You're going to pick Jonathan? You're going to pick Jonathan? All right, hey. To each their own, to each their own. I'm picking Kevin. I'm picking Kevin to win this fight. I think he'll take it. I know. Who is these guys, man? Who are these guys? I had to go back, watch videos on these guys. I'm telling you the truth. It was tragic. All right, it was tragic. Going and making all my fight predictions, it was tragic. I'm hoping I come out in the winning end, just because it was so hard to make my fight predictions, guys. But guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Please like and subscribe, guys. But we're gonna go straight to the lightweight bout. Okay, lightweight bout. We got a American fighter versus a Chinese fighter. We got Rongzhu versus Cody Steele. Okay, for this one, I'm gonna pick Cody Steele. I think Cody Steele goes in there, possibly finishes him, with vicious punches. Okay, maybe, but I do pick Cody Steele to win this fight, guys. All right, we're done with the early prelims, guys. We are done with the early prelims. We got Kobe. We got Kobe versus Topuria. Everybody knows who Topuria is. He's Ilia Topuria's brother. He looks phenomenal. I've been following them, and I've been following his training camp. Guy looks phenomenal. If I had to pick somebody, I'm going to pick Alec Topuria to win this fight. I think he goes in there and gets the finish, most likely, or maybe unanimous decision. But I am going to pick Topuria to win that fight, guys. Thank God for 313, keeping my hope for after this pay-per-view. Yeah, man, keep your hopes. Hold on to it. Hold on to it. Hopefully, nothing falls apart. You never know what could happen, guys. You never know what could happen. I seen crazier things happen. Okay, but yeah, guys, we got Wang Kong versus Breno Brazil. And if I had to pick somebody, I'm gonna pick Wang Kong, just because he's coming off of a loss. I believe she's coming off of a loss. She's a phenomenal striker. A lot of people, had big hopes for her, just because she did fight Joanna Jędrzejczyk, I believe, or was it Joanna Jędrzejczyk or Valentina Shevchenko? I'm not sure. I think it was Valentina Shevchenko. They fought each other in Muay Thai and whatnot. Wang Kong's, phenomenal striker. I'm gonna pick her to win this one, most likely by TKO KO, guys. All right, moving on. We got Tom versus Borschev. I can't even pronounce his name, guys. But he's Russian. All right, and you know what? I picked the Russian. I picked the Russian to take this one. I pick Borschev to win this one. But again, it's a toss-up. It's really a toss-up. But I do believe this is one of those fights that either guy can knock each other out. Point blank, period, man. Either guy is good enough to knock each other out. So if I had to pick a guy, I'm gonna pick the Russian Borschev to win this one. I think he's gonna have just a little bit too much power for Tom. And I think that's how that's the way the fight goes. But guys, I wouldn't be surprised if Tom goes in there and gets the finish either. agreed is just the Russian power. That's exactly what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking, all right? Excuse me, guys. Moving on to to a featherweight bout. Excuse me. We got Jack versus Gabriel. All right, we got Jack versus Gabriel, guys. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Okay, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. All right, it takes minimal effort to give me that thumbs up, so you might as well do it, guys, okay? Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it, okay? Now, this is another toss-up for me. This one was hard to choose, in my opinion, you know what I mean? But once again, I don't know. Man, this is a tough one, man. Both guys can finish each other. That's my opinion. I think both guys are strong. I think both guys can finish each other. They both, you know, they both are capable of finishing fights. But if I had to pick, man, I'm going to pick Jack Jenkins. I've been picking Jack Jenkins over Gabriel Santos. I think the Australian is going to go in there most likely and finish Gabriel Santos. That's my opinion towards that one, guys. Jack who versus Gabriel who? We got Jack Jenkins versus Gabriel Santos, okay? And if I had to pick, man, like I said, I'm going for Jack Jenkins. I think he goes in there, gets the TKO, but I would not be surprised if Gabriel Santos goes in there and finishes Jack as well. But if I had to pick somebody, I'm going with Jack, all right? Moving on, we are in the main card, guys. I'm trying to keep this short and sweet, guys. We are in the main card, and this main card is trash, okay? Besides your main events, all right? We got Jake Matthews versus Francisco Prado, okay? You know, Australia versus Argentina. This is gonna be a terrific fight. You know, if I had to pick somebody from the top of my head, like I always say, I'm going to pick Jake Matthews just because he has more experience than Francisco. Don't get me wrong. Francisco, you know, he showed out. You know what I mean? He showed out. But I think Jack just has a little bit too much experience, and I think that experience will push him to that threshold where he'll be able to beat Francisco. That's my opinion. I'm going to stick with Jack. I'm going to stick with Jake Matthews. All right, I'm going to stick with Jake Matthews for this one, guys. All right, moving to a light heavyweight bout. This card is trash, guys. Jack Cool, 100% Jake Matthews. Yeah, that's exactly what I said, guys. Excuse me. Now, this was another tough one for me. This one was another tough one for me, guys. Man, Jimmy Crute versus Bellato. You know, we got a light heavyweight bout, Jimmy Crute versus Bellato. Look, when I went back and watched their videos, I first picked Jimmy Crute, but if I had to pick somebody right now and leave it with my fight predictions, I'm gonna have to pick Bellato. Just because, don't get me wrong, the level of competition for Bellato, it really hasn't been there, but he is on a win streak, which to me tells me he's moving up levels. Every time he fights, he's moving up a level. Yeah, it might not be a huge level, but he is moving up levels. And I think this is the biggest test for Bellato right now to see, you know, if he moves up, you know, to that other level, right? And Jimmy Crute, he comes with a lot of experience. But I think the momentum continues with Bellato, and I think Bellato ends up taking this. And not only that, but Jimmy Crute, he's on a long layoff. You know what I mean? I think Jimmy hasn't fought in about over a year. You know what I mean? And that's the reason why I'm picking Bellato. I'm picking Bellato for this one because he is on a win streak. He's been way more active than Jimmy. It's been a year and some since Jimmy actually, you know, has fought in the octagon. So I'm going to have to go pick Bellato, guys. We're going to continue with that win streak, and we're going to continue with that momentum. All right, we at the heavyweight bout, guys. Heavyweight bout. All right, This one was a toughie for me too. This one was a toughie for me too. We got Justin Tafa versus Taliesin Teixeira. Can't pronunciate that last name. And you know, for the top of my head, this isn't really an exciting fight. It really isn't. It just isn't. To me, this is not an exciting fight. The heavyweight division is in shambles. Okay. That actually Dana White released two heavyweights already because he knows for a fact the heavyweight division is in shambles. There's nobody there, guys. It's trash. Okay. And if I had to pick somebody, I'm gonna pick Teixeira. I'm gonna pick Taliesin Teixeira to win this one, the Brazilian, over the New Zealand. I think he has just a little bit too much power, and I think Teixeira is gonna end up winning this one. All right, we're in the women's strawweight title bout, guys. The women's strawweight title bout. This is really my main event here. Bring up Jamal Hill and Alex to heavyweight. I don't know about Jamal Hill, guys. I mean, I don't know about Jamal Hill. I don't know about that, you know. He is, don't get me wrong, you know, I don't know about Jamal Hill. I really don't. Alex Pereira, yeah, but no, I don't know about Jamal Hill. That dude is a street fighter at best, and I'm going to die on that hill, guys. Put some life into that heavyweight division. They have to put some life into that heavyweight division. If Francis Ngannou came into the heavyweight division right now, the way it stands, he knocks out everybody, including Tom Aspinall. Point blank, period. I don't want to hear any arguments. I don't want to hear shit about it. He knocks out Tom Aspinall, and he knocks out the whole heavyweight division basically in one night. That guy, I mean, that whole heavyweight division is shit. All right, but women's strawweight title, a lot of people have Tatiana Suarez winning this fight. And after seeing that, after seeing a lot of people that I talked to picking Tatiana Suarez, I had to go back and watch Tatiana Suarez fights, you know, because it's been a while since I watched her fights. And, you know, I already know Zhang Weili. I already know everything about her. I watched almost every single one of her fights. Zhang Weili, she's embedded in my mind. I basically know everything about the girl. You know what I mean? But when it comes to Tatiana, I had to go back and watch some videos. You know what I mean? And, man, I saw a lot of holes. All right, I took notes. You know what I mean? For my friends out there who are going to put money down on Tatiana, I'm going to inform you, don't do that. Okay, and I'm going to give you the reasons why, okay? First and foremost, no disrespect to Tatiana. I don't want to put this information out there. I don't want to, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to disrespect her, but this is just pure facts. This is what I see with my eyes when I watched her fights. I literally watched almost all her fights today, all right? And here we go. Actually, maybe move up Jerry since he already lost twice to Alex. I don't know about that. We'll see. But if I had, you know what I mean? All right, here we go. Tatiana, she's really slow. Tatiana has no speed. She has only one speed, really, and that's slow as hell. She's really slow, man. She is very slow. And not only is she slow, but she doesn't throw combinations. She just doesn't. Like, you know, you will watch, like, for instance, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. She throws crazy combinations. You know what I mean? She throws freaking 5, 6, 7 punch combinations and then end it with a kick. You know, phenomenal striker. And you know, same thing with Zhang Weili. You know what I mean? And Tatiana, she just has no capability of throwing combos. She throws no combinations. She just throws. It's always a one strike type of situation. Like she stands in southpaw, right? And the only weapon that she has, you know, really in the stand-up game, and I wouldn't even call it a weapon, she throws her back leg, which will be her left leg. She throws her left leg, and that's what her weapon is in stand-up. She throws her back leg, and she usually throws it to the body. And it's not really a strong weapon, right? Because she doesn't have a lot of power. All right, so let me repeat myself. She's slow. She doesn't throw combinations. She doesn't have a lot of weapons when it comes to the striking. She stands in southpaw, and the only weapon she really has in that fight stance would have to be her back leg kick to the body, which it doesn't cause any harm. It hasn't caused any knockouts, any TKOs, or anything like that. So I wouldn't say it's a weapon at all. And Tatiana has no power. She has virtually no power. Okay, and hold on a second. I got notes here. I got notes. Oh, and going backwards, I watched her most recent fight, and when she's on the back foot, meaning her adversary, her opponent that she's fighting is attacking her, when she's moving backwards, she doesn't really have good movement. She doesn't have any really good movement moving backwards or laterally. It's a telltale, meaning her stand-up needs a lot of work. Her striking needs a lot of work. Her striking defense even needs work. And her last fight, virtually no head movement. Virtually no head movement. Actually, she has no head movement. When her opponent that she's fighting throws combinations, she doesn't move her head. What she does is she clinches. She tries to clinch her opponent so she can go for a takedown or possibly use a Muay Thai plum to land some knees, at close range. But what I'm talking about, she has no defense. I'm telling you right now, virtually no defense. It's not like you're going to see Tatiana Suarez move her head around or put her hands up to protect herself. She does none of that. All she does is move backwards, which is horrible. And when her opponent gets close enough, she will clinch them in order to get, to gain some type of momentum for she can, like I said, use the Muay Thai plum to either land some knees or go for the takedown. Okay? Now, another thing that I wanted to bring up about Tatiana is that just based on her experience, I don't think she can beat Zhang Weili. Not even close. It's not even close. Don't get me wrong. Her greatest weapon is her wrestling. It is. Her greatest weapon is her wrestling. And that's, in my head, that's her only weapon, is her wrestling. And then when she's able to take a person down, she's able to use some type of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to finish the fight. But in my head, that's not a big enough weapon to beat Zhang Weili. Zhang Weili is a monster. She throws combinations. She's quick with her combinations. She has power, okay? And not only that, but she has phenomenal wrestling and an ability to do all of that all at once. That's going to be very, very hard for Tatiana to deal with, okay? In my head, this is the way the fight goes. Zhang Weili is picking her apart. Tatiana is doing her best, moving backwards with her back, basically moving backwards and trying to move laterally, which would be a detriment, okay? And then when her back, when she feels too uncomfortable and her back, touches the fence and she no longer can move on her back foot and move laterally, she's going to go for the takedown, and she's going to continuously go for the takedown, and she's going to look tired. And by that time, Zhang Weili is going to finish her and TKO her or KO her. That's the way I see the fight going. I'm going for Zhang Weili to beat Tatiana Suarez just based on what I just said, guys. Okay? All right, we are in the main event of the evening. The main event of the evening, guys. And this one was a hard one for me to pick. All right? Very hard one for me to pick. I watched this fight. Their last fight. I watched DDP and Strickland. I watched it just to, give me, some recollection of, how that fight did go. I watched it before. This would be like the third time I watched it. Going into that fifth round, DDP, he looked like he was ready for another round. However, he did look like the more beat-up guy. Like, he looked like he was in a 5-round war. But Sean Strickland, he didn't look as beat up as DDP. He really didn't. But, with that said, I just think DDP is too strong. He's able to take punishment like no other. And he's able to take punishment to the point where you think he's losing the fight, and then all of a sudden, he pulls it off. So for that reason, guys, I'm going to have to pick DDP to win this fight. That's my UFC prediction, guys. I'm going to throw that in the trash. All right, I'm going to throw those UFC predictions in the trash because this was the hardest fight prediction I had to come up with, okay? And hopefully I put money in your pockets. All right, I don't know about this one. All right, I say you shouldn't even bet on any of these fights because these fights are trash. The only two fights that I'm looking forward to is that DDP and Zhang Weili fight. I already know Zhang Weili is going to go in there and finish Tatiana Suarez quick. All right, quick. And she's going to show that there's levels to this shit. But those are my UFC fight predictions for UFC 312. Hashtag trash ass card. The UFC needs to do themselves a favor and stop doing this shit to their fans. And not only that, they need to do themselves a favor and revamp the Ultimate Fighter. All right, Chael Sonnen and DC, that's not good enough. Those coaches are not good enough. Don't get me wrong. They were great mixed martial artists at their time. But to say that it's going to be entertaining and something to watch, I'm sorry, guys, it's just not that exciting. They need to do more when it comes to the Ultimate Fighter, and they need to revamp that, and they need to revamp the heavyweight division because that shit is in shambles, okay? And I'm going to leave it there, guys. I am going to leave it there. I've been on for 26 minutes, going on 30 for today. Usually after 30-minute mark, I start talking about whatever it is you want to talk about. But you know what? Today, I'm feeling a little tingly. So you might as well, you know what? Talk about whatever you want. Let's go. Rapid fire. The main event of the evening. Trash. Hear me out. Hear me out. Upset knockout. Strickland in the second round. I don't know about that, man. DDP is able to take punishment like no other, guys. Weili should have been pushed so much more. That girl is cool as fuck. Charismatic. I can't help but feel like UFC should have pushed that lady more. Yeah, man. I feel the same way. I feel the same way when it comes to Zhang Weili. Especially with, you know, the amount of fans that she has over there in China and in the United States, around the world. I think they need to do it. After this fight, the UFC needs to do themselves a favor and pick up Zhang Weili. They really do, because that girl, she's a monster, man. She is a monster. Give Zhang Weili a shot at the second belt, bro. Man, that would be tough. That's a tough one right there. You think she could beat Valentina Shevchenko? You really think she could beat her? You know, Valentina's tough, man. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people are saying that Valentina, she's towards the end of her career because she's a lot older. But guys, I still think, even at this age, with her experience, she could still pull off a lot of great fights and a lot of good wins. I'll tell you that one. Gonna be interesting to see Toporia's brother. I did pick Topuria to win that, man. And Mars, what's up, man? How you doing? Yo. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Like I always say, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me that thumbs up, so you might as well do it, guys. All right, please and thank you. All right. But yeah, guys, I mean, it's a toughie. It's a toughie. They both very popular. I'd just be good for it'll be good for the women's division. Yeah, I think it would be. I think it would be. You know what I mean? But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, man. I can tell you that much. I just know for a fact a lot of people are giving Tatiana Suarez a lot of credit. And I'm sorry, man. I saw a lot of holes. A lot of holes in her game that Zhang Weili is going to exploit. And I know it. I know it for a fact, 100%, that Zhang Weili is going to go in there and make it look easy. A like costs nothing. Definitely, it costs nothing, guys. So go ahead and give me, a like, guys. I really appreciate it. Go ahead and subscribe. Help me build this community. I'm just trying to get to 500 subscribers. If you can help me get there, I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you for supporting, you know, independent media. You feel me? But yeah, man. Any topics you guys want to talk about? Any topics? I am not seeing what the UFC sees in Suarez. Good fighter for sure, but nah. Yeah, man, I don't see what the UFC sees either. You know what I mean? her biggest weapon is her height and her length. But besides that, I don't see anything. You know what I mean? No disrespect to the girl. No disrespect, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it. DDP will keep the belt here. I think he will. I think DDP will win. I just think the guy is just too tough. I'm telling you, the guy looks like he's losing the fight, but then always pulls it off, guys. Always pulls it off. UFC 313 predictions. Well, I'm not going to make that right now, guys. I just got done, making UFC 312 predictions, and that was hard enough, all right, with that trash-ass card. It was hard enough, guys. All right, so UFC 313 will come up. I will make predictions for that card, but not right now, okay? Not right now. Man, I'm sweating bullets. What is going on here? But yeah, guys, man, this thing is getting a little too hot. I'm going to have to get a thinner one. A thinner one, guys. But yeah, man. What's going on out there in the world, guys? I agree, but how many times can the dude be losing a fight and get the W? Maybe he's just one of those fighters, you know what I mean? He's one of those fighters that just, you know what I mean? He's like Rocky, man. He's like Rocky, you know? He's like, it doesn't matter. You might think he's losing, but he always pulls it off. Always pulls it off, man. Same thing with Adesanya, you know what I mean? When he was fighting Adesanya, I was watching it live. I was like, man, going into the 4th round, I was like, man, if Adesanya is able to, if Adesanya is able to get out of this round and go into the 5th, I say Adesanya is winning this fight. But then all of a sudden in the 4th round, he pulls it off. I'm like, oh my gosh. Amazing, amazing. Low-key, I just got the feeling Strickland going to pull off another upset. I don't know about that, man. I mean, I won't be surprised. Sean Strickland is, a phenomenal fighter. You know what I mean? His stand-up is much, much better than DDP's, in my opinion. But like I said, DDP is just one of those fighters that it doesn't matter how much better you are. He just has more grit. He just has more grit, and he's willing and able. So I got to go with DDP, man. A sneaky feeling. I feel you. Bro, do you think Izzy can make comeback? I don't think he'll touch gold again, but who knows? Well, Mars, look, man, if I had to put a prediction in my head, I think he should take a little layoff, you know what I mean? Take a little layoff and come back to a winnable fight. And I don't know if he could touch gold again. Don't get me wrong. I don't know if he'll be able to be a champion again. But I can't count him out. You know what I mean? I really can't count him out just because I've seen amazing things happen. I remember when, like I said, Robbie Lawler, you know what I mean? He wasn't even close to being a champion in the UFC, and then he leaves the UFC, becomes a champion in another organization or whatnot, and then ends up coming back to the UFC, going on another tear, ends up becoming champion, and then, had, 4 or 5 phenomenal highlight fights. And that was, an older, more experienced Robbie Lawler. You just got to stay with it. You got to stay hungry. And you got to keep evolving. You have to keep evolving. And Robbie Lawler showed that, man. So if he's capable, I think Adesanya is capable as well. I hear that, but he can't keep doing it. I hear you. Izzy just needed to fight on the outside better, but hey, I think when it comes to Adesanya is that a lot of people get confused what head movement is, and he doesn't have good head movement. Adesanya does not have good head movement. What he does is he uses his length and his arms to get away from people. You know what I mean? He uses his arms and his head to get away from people, and he like dodges punches this way. You know what I mean? And that's not good head movement. If you want to really, not get yourself hurt, you have to be able to protect yourself and move. When you see a punch coming, you got to be able to move with the punch. You got to be able to move with it. So if he's punching this way, and you see his hands coming towards this jaw, you want to be able to put your hands up, protect yourself, and go with the momentum. You know what I mean? Go with the momentum. Never take your eyes off the opponent or where he's going to punch you, but you have to go with the momentum. Instead, he leaves his head wide up with his chin up, and he uses his hands this way. And then when a punch comes, he thinks he's far away, and his length, is good enough, but it's not. That's a detriment. And when he's like this, he's just vulnerable. He's already on the back foot. All his weight is already on the back. So when the punch lands, KO, baby, KO. So I think he has a lot of work on when it comes to his stand-up. Don't get me wrong, that sounds crazy, but I'm talking about real head movement, real defense. He needs to work on that. We all know it's going to be points decision if Strickland wins. I think he is more capable of doing that. Yeah, I think so too. But I'm still going for DDP. Still going to pick DDP on my predictions. You're right. He also is long. He is able to bend in such a way to be out of reach. That isn't head movement. Yeah, that isn't head movement, guys. That's not head movement. Not at all. Not at all. Prediction on Izzy comeback. Learn that jury head movement. Yeah, man. That's a good point. That is a good point. Jury, he came back. A lot of people were saying that he needs to be able to put his hands up, and he did. Don't get me wrong. Jury did put his hands up. He did use it in that Jamal Hill fight. But what he really did work on was phenomenal head movement in a way where he will flinch, he will make Jamal flinch, and then it will make Jamal go and commit. So when he will fake and flinch towards Jamal will go for the punch and throw out a rocket. And here he would time it so perfectly. It was like the punch would coming and he was just out of the way. Another punch was coming, he was just out of the way. It was perfect head movement. All right, he really needs to learn that when it comes to Adesanya. But Jerry Prohaska showed, that he's evolving. You saw that? He's evolving. And that's what a lot of fighters can't do. Issue is what Izzy does is not as effective. Is not effective against guys with similar reach. Very true, and that's the reason why. Is because he doesn't have head movement. You know what I mean? Or he doesn't have good head movement at least. Imagine if Jury always trained that head movement. Well, he is. He's continuously training it now. He's getting better. And in that Jamal Hill fight, it showed, guys. Jury is able to take a lot more heavy shots, though, by being a naturally heavier dude. Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. Let's go for that. Yeah, guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel, guys. Like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me that thumbs up. So please, guys, give me that thumbs up. And guys, do not forget to click that bell notification, guys. You got to click that bell notification. It keeps us all connected. It helps me build this channel, and it helps me build this community, all right? So help me do this, guys. I appreciate you. Low-key could see Jury becoming a champ if Alex moves up. Maybe. And you know what? If Alex Pereira is able to beat Ankalaev, I say Alex Pereira should move up to the heavyweight division, fight Tom Aspinall, take that belt off of Tom Aspinall, just because, guys, like I said, the heavyweight division is in shambles, okay? It's in shambles. There's nobody there. So if Alex Pereira, he beats Ankalaev, he could walk right into a heavyweight title fight, take that belt, and, sayonara, right off into the sunset, guys. Did you hear what Bryce Mitchell said? Yeah, I heard what he said about the whole Hitler stuff. You know what I mean? Craziness. He deleted it. It's a lot of crazy shit going on out there. I'll tell you that much. But I'm not going to touch up on that. I think, I don't even want to touch up on that, man. But, guys, I'm out of here. I just wanted to make my UFC fight predictions for UFC 312, and I did. There you go. It was hard as hell, but there you go, guys. I am out of here. Josh Edmond knocked him out so badly, he became German. Oh, my gosh, right? It's crazy. It's craziness. Had him doing the Harlem Shake like he was P. Diddy. But anyways, guys, y'all have a good one. Y'all stay blessed. You already know what I'm about to say. Until next time, guys. Until